Hi. I wanted to share an interesting disconnect that happened this week with my family. I'm out of touch in terms of how education is done here, and there were two things that happened that I thought were funny. The first was that my daughter's teacher. My daughter has this Emily. She has this aspiration now to go to the best private school, junior high school here in Shizuoka. And, suddenly after all these years of really not being very academically inclined, she suddenly has become quite an achiever. And she's working hard and studying hard and preparing and doing all of this stuff on her own. Started going to real serious cram school in the evening. It's basically she goes double school. She goes to school during the day, and twice a week she goes to school at night downtown. She takes a train all the way downtown and all by herself and goes to this serious cram school. She's really trying hard. She wants to go to this school. Mommy and I are really proud of her and encouraging her all we can. And she told her teacher that she wanted to go to this school, and his response was muri. Basically impossible. He told her there's no way that you can get into that school. And that kind of surprised me, because that's, I thought that was, I thought the teacher would try to encourage her. Turns out that, my disconnect was that was just his way of honestly assessing the possibilities. It's really a hard school to get into, and for Emily, it had the positive effect. She basically said, "I'm not going to let that stop me. I'm going to continue striving to make this, and I'm going to prove Sensei wrong." So it had a positive effect, and I was really out of touch with that, in terms of my understanding of how things are done. And I asked my wife about it. She said that wasn't necessarily the way the teachers work here in Japan. They don't necessarily do that, but it works. It's an effective case with this particular teacher. Now, the more interesting case I thought came in the last couple of days when the same teacher. The kids have a big event coming up in later this week where they're going to be going away for the fifth graders are going to be going away for 3 nights and 2 days or something like that, for basically for 3 days on an adventure to a place called Asagiri. Camping for 3 days with their teachers. And, basically this will be the longest time Emily's been away from Miko and I ever. And it's a big event coming up this week. And, this next week. And Emily's teacher, I saw, came home the other day. Emily was studying so hard, her kanji. And she asked me to help her out. So I was helping her out in terms of giving her, I was acting like the proctor or the person running the test and helping deliver the test for her. And she was working on it so hard, and she told me, she said that the teacher told her that if she doesn't get 100%, she can't go to Asagiri. She can't go to this thing. But none of the kids can. They have to get 100% on this very difficult kanji test, which is 50 kanji characters out of 100 possibilities. So the kids have to memorize 100 very complex kanji characters, and they have to get 50 of them 100% right in the test to go. And Emily was trying so hard, and I was up in the middle of the night thinking about it. I was worried about her, because I really wanted her to pass. Because I wanted to help her. I wanted to, help her see her succeed. I want her to go to Asagiri, and I want to help her get into that school. That's a loud vehicle. So, there you go. Isn't that annoying? So anyway, she studied like crazy on this thing, and she and I was even worried about other kids. I was worried about other kids in her class who may not be able to pass the test. And I was literally up in the middle of the night thinking about it, I was worried about it. It wasn't much I could do, but I was trying to, just worried about it. And so anyway, the day after the day of the test, I came home in the evening and asked her, "How'd you do?" And she had gotten 2 wrong. She had two kanji that are very similar. She had swapped them, and you can see. I looked at the test. You could see that the stroke was just a little bit different. She got it a little bit wrong, and she failed. That she didn't fail outright, but she didn't pass. She didn't get 100%, which means that she's not going to go to Asagiri for this thing. She'll have to stay home while all the other kids go. And then I thought, oh, that's too bad. You're not going to be able to go. And she said, well, Sensei's going to give us a second chance. Oh, okay, good, a second chance. Now there are other kids that that are going to have a really hard time on this test. And so I asked my wife this morning. I said I was really worried about it again. And I said, how did how are things going? Did Emily pass the second test? Has she taken it yet? And she hadn't taken it yet, and Yumiko doesn't seem too concerned. And I said, basically, she looked at me and she said, Kurt, you understand that he's bluffing. Really? He's bluffing? Yeah. The whole thing about this not needing to get 100% to go to Asagiri is a bluff. It's a way to motivate and encourage the kids. Even the lowest achievers in the class will go. Everybody goes. It's just the way the teacher operates to get things done. So I completely missed the ball there. I didn't see what was going on. I didn't understand the methodology, the strategy that the teachers are using here. And it's so often the case in my life here. I'm looking one direction while everybody else is going in another. So there we go. It looks like Emily's going to go on this adventure. All the kids will go, and she's going to get a second chance apparently with the test. Apparently, hopefully she'll get those two right and get the 100% that she's after. And if she can continue to strive, and to work really hard, maybe she'll even manage to get herself into that school that she wants to get into, despite Sensei's statement that it will be impossible. We'll see. And the interesting thing is, my wife, whom I trust and whom I respect and who I know so well as just about the wisest person I know, is not concerned one bit. She knows that. She's not at all. She knows that things are working out all right, that the teachers got things under control, and that the methodology being employed by the teacher is not one to be concerned about. That it has its effects. It's a different world over here than I necessarily know, and I'm glad that she knows better than I. Mother does know best. Take care, everybody. Have a great day. Look at that beautiful light back there. Who cares about looking at me? Look at that. Take care. See you later.